Hey guys, it's NCS Fan 001 here, welcoming you to another one of those weekly trophy list update videos. Today's date is Monday, June 29th, 2020, so this will have covered the week of the 22nd through the 28th of June 2020. Anyway, this was a very productive week overall. I earned trophies in 4 different games. But I would like to point out a couple of things. I'm still working a little bit on Destiny 2, as some of you guys might know. Still working slowly on that Triumph Seal stuff. Working on one of my last Prophecy tablets at the moment. Not too much more to say about that. And then secondly, I think I might have mentioned this last week, I can't remember, but GTA 5 is doing an event where if you log in once per month for the next however long until it comes out on PS5, you'll get $1 million for each month. So, easy way to get some extra GTA money to go for trophies in that. So, yeah, just wanted to bring both of those facts up real quick. Oh, and one other thing, Borderlands 3's third DLC just came out. I may actually be picking up that season pass in the next few days because it's dropped in price. It's only like $35 right now, so... And I don't know when it's going to drop to any less than like $30, so I might go ahead and pick it up just so I can start getting to work on that. And actually, make some trophy progress and get that one kind of cleaned up a little bit. Because I know that none of the DLCs are considered to be difficult so far. They're all like the same or easier than the base game. Probably easier than the base game, so that's a good thing. But anyway, as for the games I actually earned trophies in, there are 4 from this past week that we got some trophies in. So the first is Star Wars Battlefront 2, which we are up to 46% on the base game. So, I didn't do any of the story this week. I need to just start playing the story some more. I just need to sit down for like a 2-hour period and just finish the thing. It's not even that long. But I've just been lazy about it. And mostly just because I want to focus on the multiplayer, obviously. Because you get the multiplayer, you've got the platinum. I am currently a rank 23. So, already ranked 23 out of 50. So, slowly making progress. And the crazy thing is, they actually just set up the game to where now every Wednesday is going to be triple XP, which is awesome. So Wednesdays are now triple XP, and Saturdays and Sundays are double XP. So that means that I can level up much faster, and so can you guys. They probably did it in response to it going free on PS Plus or something. So that's going to mean that if I play on Wednesdays, I can probably level up quite a bit faster. So... by the end of this week, I'll easily be ranked 25, provided I get the chance to play the game on either Wednesday or this coming weekend. So I'll easily be ranked 25. I don't know how long it'll take to get to 50, but I'll at least be able to make a lot more progress with the triple XP. As for actual trophies I earned, though, I defeated 3 enemies within a Vanguard usage 5 times. This can be done in co-op. I highly recommend doing it in co-op because that makes it significantly easier. It's probably actually the hardest of these 4 sort of class-specific trophies for ground combat, just because the Vanguard isn't really the best weapon in the world. It's not horribly effective. But what you can actually do is throw a thermal detonator as soon as you pop the Vanguard, and a thermal detonator kill will also count towards this, which means that you might only have to get 2 kills, which is much more manageable, because you only get around 8 or 10 shots, I think, unless you have like the really highly upgraded version. I already had this one done. I'm at around 50 of these done. It's just, this one might be the most time-consuming of the 4, but it's still easy, so it's not a big deal at all. I'll get to it within the next week or 2 of playing in co-op. It's not difficult. It just takes a little bit of time. Then we have the 25 headshots with long blaster rifles. Unfortunately, there's no way to keep track of this challenge. I think that someone said if you see the message marked man or something come up on screen when you get a kill, that means that it was a headshot. So really just keep playing as the specialist class and keep using the long blaster rifles and keep going for headshots until the trophy eventually pops. It's not difficult. It's only 25. Doesn't take too much time. Shouldn't be much of a problem. Then we have this one, multitasking, the most infamous trophy in the game. Destroy 25 hero ships with fighter ships. This trophy is annoying. There is no denying that it is annoying just because 25 hero ships with fighter ships are fairly weak and hero ships are very strong, and very often you'll do a lot of damage to the hero ship only to have your kill stolen at the last second by someone coming in and swiping the last 5 HP or so. The best way to do this, though, for me at least, was to play hero Starfighters, because in hero Starfighters it's 4v4 with no AI, unfortunately, Well, I guess that's kind of a better thing overall, but there's no AI. So it's 4v4, and you spawn in as a hero at the beginning of the battle, but you can instantly just go kill yourself by flying into something. And once you die, you can switch over to fighter class, and you're only going to be fighting against hero ships for the most part. So that makes it much easier to go after. And I would definitely recommend doing it that way. I did it within about a week of actually working on the trophy, only playing it in that mode, and I got all 25. I didn't even get a single one in regular Starfighter Assault, just mostly because I'm not good at Starfighter Assault in this game. I was fairly good at it in Battlefront 1, but I just haven't been good at it in this game. So I would highly recommend doing it that way if you're struggling in the main game mode. It definitely makes it easier, at least it did for me. For this one, let me check my list as to how much progress I've made on this one. I currently have 32 kills left, so I have to get 32 more, so I've only done, I guess that means 18. Yeah, I've only done like 18. This one's kind of annoying too, just because the dual proton torpedoes aren't that good, but it's not difficult. You can consistently get at least like 3 or 4 a match as long as you focus on using it, so it's not too bad. It takes some time, but it's not really difficult. Destroy 25 objectives in Starfighter Assault. That seems pretty straightforward. I mean, it is pretty straightforward. All you have to do is just focus on the objectives. The best thing to do is to go for the bombers. Like when the enemy team brings in bombers to bring down one of your targets, they're the best to hit because they count as targets, and they're usually pretty weak, and they don't really shoot back too much, and they aren't always that well guarded. So that's the easiest way to do it. But still a pretty easy trophy, and you can use whatever ship you want for that. I've already won matches in the game modes. For this one, by my count, I've done 32 kills so far in Heroes vs. Villains. So that's a very easy trophy, just takes a few matches to play through, especially if you have some more upgraded heroes. Most of my heroes are kind of low level, but it's not really a difficult trophy. And then beyond that, we still have to do this one, defeat 500 enemies as a hero in any multiplayer map. I think I'm about halfway through this, because I do it some in the co-op mode, because you can easily get a good number of kills in each match as a hero in the co-op mode. So again, not difficult, a little bit grindy, but nothing much to worry about. So that means that there are only 6 trophies left for the online, and 2 of them are related to ranking up, which isn't going to be a problem. It's just going to take time. This one's easy because it's co-opable. This is probably going to be the hardest one that we have left, and it's still not too bad. It just, again, takes time. So nothing much to worry about with Battlefront 2. Maybe I'll start playing the campaign again some more in the near future, just to, you know, start working through it, as well as to do the DLC, because these 3 trophies are all DLC campaign missions. All you have to do is beat them, nothing else to worry about. Pretty simple. Next up, Minecraft PS4. It finally got its last trophy update for this version of the game. And I'll explain what I mean by that in a second, but it is Expansion Pack 13, aka the Nether Rehaul. So there are 4 total trophies, and this, I would say, is probably one of the harder DLCs, or just at least more annoying DLCs recently. Like, 11 was annoying. 11 has a few pretty annoying trophies in it, as you guys might know. 11 was probably the worst one that we've had so far, but, like, there are ones like 10 was pretty easy, 12 was pretty easy. 9 was annoying. 9 was really annoying, or 9 was kind of annoying at least. 8 wasn't too bad. 7 was easy. 6 was hard because of this little prick right here. Probably the hardest trophy in the entire game. 5 was multiplayer only. 3's not too hard. 4's pretty easy. 2 was multiplayer, and those are boostable. This one's not awful. But I mean, overall, like, the game, I would say that if you can play, you can do most of your trophies in the non-Bedrock edition. Like, you can do everything through Expansion 10 in non-Bedrock, and I would recommend doing that. Just, I'm not a fan of the Bedrock edition. The Bedrock edition really slows down the game and makes it crash a lot more, I've found. Definitely had that problem some when I was doing, like, Pack 12. It's not as bad with Pack 13. But as for the actual trophies in this DLC, the Bullseye Trophy is extremely easy. You just, I think it's just 4 redstone and a hay bale to make the target block, and then you just have to hit the bullseye. Nothing difficult about that at all. Shouldn't cause a problem. Distract a piglin using gold. This is very easy. Just get a piece of gold, take it into the nether, find a piglin. They look like the zombie pigmen, but they are dangerous. They'll come and try to kill you. And just throw a piece of gold at it, and you'll get this trophy. Nothing difficult there. Now, surprisingly, despite this one being the least rare trophy, it's the hardest of the three that I've gotten. Just because I didn't get the most ideal nether setup, and this one definitely comes down to whether or not you get lucky with the nether setup, because there's 5 different biomes you have to go to. There is the standard Nether Wastes, which is pretty much anything in the nether that isn't one of the 4 new biomes. There's the red forests and the blue forests. They have special names to them, but they're both like basically forests. One of them's red with a bunch of red trees and stuff. The other one's blue, sort of the same thing, but different color. There is the one that is, it's like, I think it's called Soul Sand Valleys or something. It's just a bunch of soul sand. It has like blue fire on it specifically, and usually a lot of skeletons. And then there's also the basalt areas. It's like basalt ranges or something. Once again, I don't really remember the names because they're kind of weird. But it's basically like a whole bunch of stacks of like ash going up. It's kind of hard to describe. That was the one that gave me the most trouble to find. Because in my current newest world that I've been playing every now and then, on and off, mostly for these bedrock trophies, in that one, my nether... It starts out in Nether Wastes. There are red and blue forests very close to it. And there's a Soul Sand Valley, or whatever it's called, not too far away either. It was mostly just finding the Basalt Delta, that's what it's called. And then finally, there is Cover Me in Debris, the gold trophy. You have to wear netherite armor, which I believe requires you to already have diamond armor. And then you have to mine netherite, which is even rarer than diamond, although I don't know if it's as rare as emerald. This one's annoying, but thankfully you don't actually have to craft it. You can just wear it. And I have someone on my friends list that said he would, next time like he or his friend is online, they will let me just borrow their netherite armor so I can get this trophy done. So the reason I say that this is the last DLC, at least for now, is that we are now at 127 trophies if you count them for Minecraft PlayStation 4. The maximum trophies a game can have is 128. However, after that point, and I don't see Minecraft doing a 1 trophy DLC, I just don't think it's going to happen because they have never done that before on the PS4, so I just don't see that being likely. So what will happen is, if they decide to release another DLC on the PS4 edition of the game, then it will go to a brand new list. It's the way that Dead by Daylight has done it, Elder Scrolls Online, Train Sim, and a handful of other games. Hitman 2 is one of them, so yeah. It'll do like what those games did, where they get a new extra trophy list where they can add another 128 trophies. But thankfully, if you don't want to do it, as long as you finished your 100% before any extra trophy lists come out, then you technically can just delete that list when it pops up as 0% and never play Minecraft again, and you'll always have the base game platinumed and 100%ed. I don't know, though, if that's going to end up happening, because the updates are becoming more sporadic, because it's been about 6 months since the Bedrock Edition came out. So I don't really know if they're going to do another one on PS4. Now, obviously, when the PS5 comes out, there's going to be a Minecraft PS5. It's not a matter of if, but exactly when it comes out on PS5. But the big thing for that is, will the PS5 allow longer trophy lists? And even if it doesn't allow longer than 128 trophies, there will certainly be more DLC on PS5 because Minecraft is just going to keep going on and on forever pretty much at this rate. So that is something that's going to happen in the future, but hopefully we will never get another list for the PS4. They'll just wait hopefully until the PS5 comes out and only do future updates on the PS5. I would much rather them do that. But I don't know if that's exactly what's going to happen. But either way, the DLC isn't awful. Like I said, it's not awful. I mean, even though the trophies are pretty rare currently, it's not awful, but it's not one of my favorite DLCs. It's not one of the easier ones overall. But I will get that done hopefully by the end of this coming week. Next up, Spongebob Squarepants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrate Edition. I've been streaming this all this past week, almost every day. I've been trying to stream it. Now, that's something else I can talk about here is my streaming issue. I've been having serious issues with streaming over the past couple weeks. Basically, what happens is I go into YouTube and I set up my stream, and the stream starts out fine, and it's usually at either the 1 hour or 2 hour mark approximately, the stream starts screwing up. It'll say, error, YouTube is suddenly not receiving enough video. And it's really annoying because Occasionally it fixes itself, but usually it just kills the stream. Like, it ends up with massive frame rate drop, just basically kills the stream, makes it unwatchable, and makes it not worth streaming. Now, I found a really, really weird workaround that has worked so far. And what I do is, I start the stream in private or unlisted, and then switch it to public after a few minutes, and both times I've done that, I haven't had any issues. But the thing is, I don't know what end the problem is on, and I can't figure it out for the life of me. I can't figure out if it's my laptop, if it's my capture card, if it's Spectrum, or if it's YouTube. I mean, I don't know which one it is. Now, I'm starting to lean, actually, I was sure that it was Spectrum throttling me earlier in the week, but I even tried with a VPN, tried getting a VPN to see if that would work and fix it, and that didn't fix the problem. So that didn't do it either, so makes me think that it might be the capture card, because when I was trying to stream earlier on Sunday, I couldn't get my capture card to connect, my HD60S Elgato. I couldn't get it to stream at all, like it wouldn't even really connect at all, and it was messing up the screen and stuff. And then I switched back to my older capture card, my just Elgato HD, my older one that only records in like 720 by 30, but it worked fine for the stream, and it still works fine for other streams and videos and stuff, because obviously that's the one I have to use for PS3. So at least that works, which that's what kind of makes me think it might be the capture card, just because that capture card, the older one, works fine. And then I have randomly changing bit rates on my new capture card, my newer capture card. It's not necessarily new, it's like 2 years old. But I'll have randomly changing bit rates, like suddenly it'll drop down to like 1.5 megabit per second, then it'll randomly jump up to like 9,000 megabit per second for just like a minute each, and then it'll stabilize. And I don't get it. I really don't get it, but it makes me lean more towards it might be the capture card, and I actually did just send in a message, a quick message to Elgato customer support to see if maybe they could tell me what was going on with it, like if they might have a suggestion for it, if they can at least, so that maybe they can confirm whether or not it's the capture card causing the problem, because then I can either know what the problem is, or I can rule out one of the 4 things that it could be. So we will see what happens. It's only been happening for about the last month. It didn't happen on YouTube's older streaming system, but it didn't happen for the first couple months of YouTube's new streaming system, which is where it doesn't make sense to me. So once again, I really don't know. I can't figure out what the issue is. Hopefully you guys either have some input, or I can get some input back about it. But for now, I might have a workaround, and I will continue using said workaround. So now we can actually get to the game. Defeat the Jellyfish King. That is the mini-boss of Jellyfish Fields, and I'm actually currently working on a trophy guide for the game. I'll hopefully have it up within a few days, as long as no one else steals it and like uploads something before me, because that does occasionally happen. You got to collect 10 golden spatulas. You have to collect all 100 anyway. Collect everything in Spongebob's house. There is a spatula, a sock, and like a couple hundred shiny objects. The trophy images for these are actually wrong. Like, I think that this one was supposed to be for this one and vice versa. So you have the 3 robot killing ones, and to my surprise, I haven't done the Sandy or the Patrick one yet. And there's no way to keep track of it outside of keeping track of it manually, so I don't actually know where I'm at with either of them. But I thought for sure I would have these done, but apparently I don't, so these might actually be my last 2 trophies. Now, I've been streaming every bit of the game that I played, aside from grinding shiny objects, because I don't think anyone cares enough to watch me jump on and off of the Goo Lagoon Sandcastle for an hour to farm shiny objects. But defeating 100 robots is Spongebob. That's unmissable, because Spongebob's your main character. Then you have to clear all the ski slopes in Sand Mountain. You just have to beat the time trials for all 3 of them. You don't even have to get all the other spatulas in Sand Mountain for that particular trophy, but you do have to get all the spatulas in the game for the platinum. You have to find all of the golden spatulas in Bikini Bottom. There's 8 in each normal world, 1 in the Poseidon, 1 in the Industrial Park, 2 in the Chum Bucket Lab, 8 from trading Patrick's socks, and 8 from trading shiny objects to Mr. Krabs. There are 80 total of Patrick's socks. There's a trophy later for that. You have to finish the missions of Goo Lagoon. Nothing difficult there. Goo Lagoon's pretty easy. Squidward's mission in Jellyfish Fields has to do with defeating the Jellyfish King and then bringing the jelly back to him. Uptown and Downtown, this one is the steering wheels in Downtown, which you're probably going to get most of the other spatulas along the way. You got Rock Bottom, which has its typical 8 spatulas. The Rolling Ball puzzle is one of the more infamously difficult spatulas in the game. But I did it in like either 2 or 3 tries, which is really, really lucky. So I'm glad that I got it done that quickly. The campers in the Kelp Forest is not too difficult because there's only 6 of them and a lot of them are kind of on the path. Surprisingly enough, the slide... Actually, you know what? I'll talk about that later when we get down to the boss fights and stuff. I have not finished the Dutchman's Graveyard yet. That's all I have left. I'm currently at 95 spatulas. All I have left are the last 3 from the Dutchman's Graveyard, the last trade to Mr. Krabs, and the last trade to Patrick. Once I finish those, I will have the Platinum. Well, at least I'll have the 100% in-game. I might not have the 2 robot-killing trophies yet. Find all the spatulas in SpongeBob's Dream. Kind of already talked about that. There are 14 different kinds of robot in the game. I don't know if the spawners count, but that one's unmissable. There's 14 different kind of robots. This trophy's basically unmissable by the time you beat in the game. You're very likely to kill every type of robot. I don't think you can miss this. Prawn is the mini-boss of the Mermalair, the second of the 3 mini-bosses. The Flying Dutchman is the 3rd and final mini-boss at the end of the Dutchman's Graveyard, who I haven't fought yet. This is done for the second phase of the SpongeBob boss fight, and again, I'll talk about the boss fights in a minute. Then you have to talk to Squidward 10 times as SpongeBob. This is the only other miscellaneous trophy in the game. I don't know if you would actually get it naturally just by completing the game, but obviously this is extremely easy. Just find Squidward anywhere and hit R1 on him 10 times to get it done. Very easy trophy. Then you have to get all 100 gold spatulas. Like I said, I'm at 95. And some of them are related to Patrick's socks, of which I'm currently at 77. I have 3 more. They're all in the Dutchman's Graveyard. You have to defeat Robo Sandy and Robo Patrick, as well as the SpongeBob boss in the Chum Bucket Lab. Now, what I want to say is, they nerfed a lot of parts of this game. I am loving this game, by the way. This was such a joy to play through. But they definitely nerfed this game from the old versions of it. I mean, for one, you have areas like Kelp Forest that are naturally easier because the lighting is significantly better, and that's what makes things like the Tiki puzzle much easier, because Kelp Forest is usually pretty difficult. But they nerfed a lot of the other stuff. I think they made the Sand Mountain races a little bit easier. They definitely made the Kelp Forest slide easier because I got through it in 3 tries with the sock. So it only took 3 tries to get through. So they definitely made the Kelp Forest slide way easier. They didn't really make the Sandy boss fight any easier, but it's already fairly easy in the first place. They made the Patrick boss easier because in the 3rd phase, when you have to do the Bubble Bowl as your way to hit him, he used to could fall down on any part of the level, facing any direction, but now his back is always facing you, so he's easy to hit, so they made that easier. And then beyond that, the final boss fight is so nerfed in this version, it's insane. Because during the first part where you're outside of SpongeBob, his attacks are slower than they used to be, so they're very easy to dodge. I think I took maybe 1 hit during that fight. Maybe 1 hit, but that part's way easier. And then when you're inside SpongeBob, which is typically one of the harder boss fights in the game just because you aren't allowed to heal during it, and you have to fight past 4 duplicationatrons, spawning a lot of enemies, as well as Roboplankton 4 times, and then the final 3, which is just you and Roboplankton on tiny platforms. Roboplankton is so hilariously easy to deal with now because he used to would shoot his lasers out for like 10 to 15 seconds straight that you'd have to dodge. Now he shoots them for about 3 seconds and they're slower than they used to be. And then you have to hit him with the cruise bubble to stun him and allow you to do whatever it is you need to do in that section of the fight. It used to be that he would dodge out of the way at the last second and was tough to hit. He doesn't even try to dodge on this version. So the game is noticeably easier in a lot of places. There's a couple of things that are just a little bit harder. Like the Mr. Krabs' Dream is just a little bit harder because you can't hide behind Squidward and launch cruise missiles at the duplicationatrons like you could on the original version, but for the most part, the game is much easier than the old version, which is really surprising that we were talking about this in stream. Apparently, GameSpot gave it a low rating because they thought it was too difficult. And as I'm playing through the game, I'm just like, You think this was difficult, you wouldn't have even been able to beat the old version of the game, which I've only 100%ed once, but this is definitely easier. Now, I will say there is one other annoying thing about... There's two sort of annoying things about this. The Texas swinging cymbals are a lot jankier in this one. They don't really work all that well. They're a little bit harder to grapple to when they swing you around a little bit weird. And along with that, Mr. Krabs' spatulas, I swear they have to be like twice as expensive as they used to be. Because you have to pay a total of 108,000 shiny objects to pay for Mr. Krabs' spatulas in this game. And I do not think it was that expensive in the original version. And you can't do the skee ball exploit that people found to grind shiny objects super fast. But yeah, I definitely think that you have to pay a lot more shiny objects in this game, at least to Mr. Krabs. The rest of the clams and stuff are the same as they used to be, but do keep that in mind that you are going to have to grind a little bit for shiny objects. The theater's still there for 40,000, but it's thankfully not related to any trophies. Neither is the Spongebob arena, because you can't go back to it, I think, unless you beat the final boss a second time. But yeah, I will have this platinum done most likely on Tuesday. That's when I'm going to stream my completion of the game, most likely, because Mondays are always a little bit busier with having to go to the grocery store and uploading this video and all. And finally, I got one platinum trophy this week in Pipe Push Paradise. This is a quick and easy puzzle game. It only has one version. It's only a single cross-region version on PS4 version, so no Vita version to worry about. I would not recommend this game. It is short and it is easy to platinum. If you follow a guide, you can do it in 1.5 to 2 hours with a guide without really any issue. The problem is that the trophies themselves, not the game isn't that bad, but the trophies are horribly glitchy. Because on any given playthrough, you are extremely likely to have at least one of these sort of story-type trophies glitch on you. There's no miscellaneous trophies, by the way. You have to clear the 6 areas of the base island, which is 48 puzzles. Well, 47 puzzles for the actual main part of the game. But as you can see here, this trophy unlocked way later because it didn't unlock on my first playthrough, and I had to play through the entire island a second time, which wasted another hour. So I am not a fan of when games glitch out like that. It's really stupid because the game itself isn't that bad, but the trophies are that glitched that they don't unlock for a lot of people on their first playthrough, which is just why I would say avoid this one. It's just not worth it. Unless you can get it for like free. If it was like a PS Plus game or something, maybe it would be worth it then. You have to complete all the easy, medium, hard, and expert levels. This is all going to come naturally while completing those first 47 levels, provided they don't glitch on you. 3 of these glitched on me. Easy, medium, and hard glitched on me. Expert didn't glitch on me, thankfully, but it wouldn't have made a difference. And then you get this one for finishing the 48th puzzle, which is, it's this giant, like, you have to do a giant puzzle at the very end that's tougher, and then you have to push another pipe all the way back to the beginning. So you'll get that by getting that pipe back there. But, of course, because the game doesn't make you suffer enough in the early parts with the broken trophies, it then makes you go through another, like, 10 to 20 tough levels, like longer, tougher levels, like a little bit on different areas. It's an island, like a second island, and then like a cruise ship. So I think it's maybe 8 on each, so it might be like 16, which would give you around 64 total levels that you have to solve. They aren't difficult with a guide, but they just, you know, take more time. And thankfully, these two are not known for glitching on anyone, so that's a good thing. So you probably will not have to play through them a second time, because you'll unlock these trophies naturally by just completing the actual main island, so that's good. So yeah, it's not really worth playing, but it is there if you ever want to try it. So, with that, level 75, 57%, 18,675 total trophies, 449 platinums, 2,613 golds, 4,901 silvers, 10,712 bronzes. So, what are the plans for this upcoming week? Obviously going to hopefully finish Minecraft as well as Battle for Bikini Bottom. I know I'll get Battle for Bikini Bottom done, and most likely we'll get Minecraft done. So, aside from those two, I definitely want to play some more Battlefront 2, especially now that Wednesdays are going to be triple XP days. Along with that, you guys may see down there in one of my folders, I have Fallen Order now, Jedi Fallen Order. I have it on Gamefly, and I just got it recently after they basically showed that there's not going to be any DLC trophies for the game, because they confirmed that whatever DLC just came out, it was like a few challenges and a new game plus mode and maybe like a higher difficulty. But none of that came with any trophies, so I can confirm it's not going to get any trophies at this point, so I can go ahead and play it and get the Platinum Trophy in that game because I'm actually really excited to play it. It looks really fun. Otherwise, I may pick up the Borderlands 3 Season Pass just because it's on sale and actually get started on Borderlands 3's DLCs. Though I'm probably going to save some of it for the next time I go home when I don't really have much of an internet connection because each of those is like 5 to 10 hours that I can spend playing the game, doing new stuff, and making progress. So we'll see about that. I don't know yet. So once I hit Platinum number 450, I might try to push kind of quickly to 500 so I can get Far Cry 2. Presumably it'll be Far Cry 2, but I can't make any guarantees on that. It might be Far Cry 2. It might be like Destroy All Humans. It might be Ghost of Tsushima if I decide to pick it up. It won't be The Last of Us 2. It might be something else that's a little bit higher level, a little bit more difficult. You never really know. It might even be Battlefield 3 because that's the next game I need to clean up, and then Advanced Warfare after that. But otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I managed to get this one pretty close to half an hour. Once I edit it down, it should be right around half an hour. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and see you this week for Platinum number 450 and other stuff.